UW360 is proudly supported by BECU, a not-for-profit member-owned credit union. Pacific Office Automation, copy, print, workflow, and IT. Problem solved.
Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn Douglas. Welcome to UW360. We have a great show ahead today. We're going to see some creative new life forms designed by students. Meet a dedicated group of rugby players celebrating 50 years as a UW club sport. Learn about UW Medical Center's pledge to serve healthier hospital food. And check out a spring break road trip with a serious mission. First, though, meet some students who hope to change their world with their passion for clean technology and an entrepreneurial spirit. The UW's Environmental Innovation Challenge gives them the opportunity to make their dreams a reality.
An estimated 50% of women in the U.S. over the age of 25 color their hair. Blonde, brunette, redhead, and purple. The question is, what's all this hair dye doing to the environment?
It's getting washed down the drain, it's ending up in the sewer systems, it's ending up in the marine environment.
Alyssa Joaquin, a senior majoring in chemical engineering, says around 3 million pounds of toxic synthetic dye works its way into our ecosystems every year.
It can damage plants, it can damage wildlife.
So Alyssa and a team of students at the University of Washington wanted to do something about our toxic hair dyes. They've come up with a new, safe solution called Goldilocks.
One of the interesting things about gold nanoparticles is the size of them will determine what color they are.
Alyssa and her team have replaced harmful chemicals with microscopic particles of real gold.
Gold nanoparticles are attractive to this because they've been used in medical applications, so they're biologically inert, they don't pollute the environment, and they're safe to use.
Alyssa hopes Goldilocks does more than attract the attention of hair coloring manufacturers. Her team is competing in the annual Environmental Innovation Challenge, a science and business fair sponsored by the UW's Foster School of Business and the College of Engineering. 20 teams of students have several months to develop innovative products that offer viable solutions to today's environmental problems. The winning team receives $10,000 for further development.
We want to make a licensable product that can be used by several companies.
Our revolutionary hair coloring technology.
Reed Backstrom is in charge of marketing Goldilocks. He says he got a lot of helpful advice from the UW Foster School of Business.
If it weren't for Foster, we'd be kind of guessing and checking our way through this. It wastes a lot of time, wastes a lot of resources, and we don't have a lot of money.
Machining takes a long time.
Jeff Mack is also competing in the Environmental Innovation Challenge. He's leading a team called Lion Tail Cycles that's engineering a custom electric assist kit that supplies all the power you could ever want on a bicycle. The kit can be added onto any bike and is especially useful with cargo bikes.
So you can do things like go to the grocery store, pick up kids, run errands around the home.
The assist kit contains a battery pack and a hub motor to assist you while you're pedaling. It can also power a lighting system, both front white headlights and LED strip lights around a cargo bucket. It can even power a stereo. Ann Barker, an MBA student at the Foster School of Business, is heading the marketing strategy for Lion Tail Cycles.
We found from our survey that the people who were most excited about the product were people who were former or regular commuter cyclists whose situation changed in one way or another. Either they started a family or started a job where they had to wear dressier attire, and commuting by bicycle is no longer an option. So a great start would be to market to this type of person.
With project prototypes ready to go, the Environmental Innovation Challenge wraps up in spring at the Seattle Center Exhibition Hall. 20 teams pitch their ideas to over 100 judges.
As you change the way it reflects the light, that's how you change the color of your hair.
It's a grueling event. For 8 hours, contestants pitch their ideas to judges floating from group to group. Even if they don't win, the lessons these young people learn will be beneficial in the years to come.
So they get to see how people respond to what they're doing and what they're saying. And then during the demo part, they're really answering questions. So it is about visibility, it's about making connection to the judges from the entrepreneurial and environmental community. It's about testing the idea and seeing how far you can take it.
For more information, you can go to our website, uwtv.org/UW360. And stay with us to see how UW Medical Center is leading the way in healthy hospital food as UW360 continues. Welcome back, everyone. It's a welcome trend to see hospitals all around the country offering healthier food choices these days, even local organic options. And the UW Medical Center was one of the very first to make that healthy pledge. Nowadays, when talking about cutting-edge cuisine, it's not unusual to hear the term farm to table. It usually applies to those premier restaurants who are using the best local, organic, and sustainable produce to prepare their meals. And here in the Northwest, we have great things to choose from. So it might surprise you to hear that this isn't just happening at the finest restaurants in the Northwest. Now it's also what's on the menu at University of Washington's Medical Center. Yep, this is the new face of hospital food. It's all part of the Medical Center's Wellness Initiative. Director of Food and Nutrition Chuck Zielinski explains.
A big initiative of our wellness program was to reduce the amount of foods with antibiotics or pesticides. And also, all of our customers love buying local. And we got rid of all the frozen vegetables and really kind of made our own little attack on big agriculture.
So gone is the stereotypical bland, tasteless hospital food. Now, patients can order up whatever they like from an impressive selection of tasty dishes, all lovingly prepared by a talented culinary staff and enhanced by the use of local and organic foods.
We sit down every month and we look at our menu and we look at the patient menu and the cafeteria menu to see how we can improve it. And we decide what items would be best to have organic or to have local.
And the farm fresh ingredients run the gamut.
We've got blueberries from Bow Hill Blueberries in Skagit Valley.
We have natural chicken that is from Chehalis, Washington.
Hubbard squash from Whidbey Island.
The reviews are exceptional from both patients and guests to the cafe. But it's about more than just creating tasty dishes.
We feel we're really doing the right thing in terms of helping our medical center meet its mission to improve the health of the community.
Clinical dietitian Melissa Montalto agrees.
So there's lots of advantages to using local and organic produce. One of them being that when food comes from a more local source, it's less time from that farm to the table. And so you're losing less nutrients that way.
The blueberries I like, so these I'll eat for lunch.
The scope of the wellness program goes beyond what's served in the cafe and to patients. In addition to educating customers about the benefits of fresh and organic foods, the team has also started an indoor farmers market. And like the new dishes on the menu, it's also been a huge hit with employees and guests alike.
It's hard to get them organic, and the grocery stores are mostly conventional.
It's great to go down there and see, the beets and kale and all these different vegetables and things that people, either that work at the hospital or coming to visit, or even patients can pick up and take home with them.
That ought to do me for a little while, don't
Wow.
you? Maybe a week or so.
Currently, more than a quarter of the food the UW Medical Center purchases for patients in the cafe comes from local farms and producers. And they say they plan on increasing that amount in the future. In the meantime, they're leading the charge among hospitals in the Northwest, winning national awards for their innovative work and cooking up some mouth-watering meals in the process. But in the end, Chuck Zielinski says their biggest motivation for doing all this boils down to one simple thing.
This is just the right thing to do.
You'll find find a link on our website to more information about the UW Medical Center's Wellness Initiative. And now we're off to a ball game. Rugby, that is, played by some very dedicated Huskies.
Spring 2013. A group of men watched the Husky Rugby Club renewing their annual rivalry with the Ducks of Oregon. What they witnessed takes them way, way back in time. 50 years to be precise. It all started with an ad in the Daily. With no coach and just a few overseas grad students who'd played before, the club struggled to begin with.
The first games we played were pretty ragged. Our skill levels were not good. We practiced once a week.
And after all that effort, the team lost its first 5 games. Joe Superfisky recalls the steep learning curve he encountered playing in the scrum.
It was nasty. There was some punching and gouging and kicking, and I don't remember any biting, but and there was a lot of conversation too.
Then one day, a young Frenchman turned up to take a look at this new rugby team. And at the end of the game, he offered his services as coach.
They needed a lot of help. When at first practice, I grabbed the ball and I said, guys, this is a rugby ball, and this is how you pass the ball.
The Husky rugby team was improving quickly when the highly touted Oregon Ducks visited Denny Field. With time running out and the score tied at 3 points apiece, the Ducks committed an infringement near their own goal.
We had an opportunity for a penalty kick, and I kicked it, and probably with the wind behind me and a lot of good luck, it went through.
And the first victory was a long time coming, worked hard for. It was a real feeling of elation that we had really created something.
That creation celebrates its 50th anniversary in 2013. The team is thriving once again under first-year head coach Brian Schoner, a UW alumnus and former USA national team player.
This guy right here, you gotta secure that ball.
For the players, the appeal of the game is the same as it was 50 years ago.
The best part about rugby is just unleashing on somebody. You know, it feels so good, and that's really what I love about rugby is being able to hit people and have fun doing it.
Playing the game, you get to know all the guys, you fight, you bleed for each other.
Rugby's physicality and camaraderie crosses the decades.
If I come and blow out here, and I'm here, you gotta be rucking me.
And the influence of that 1963 team on today's players should not be underestimated.
I think it's awesome having all the older guys that were there from the beginning coming out. You know, they love that we play it no matter what, but just that we're winning. To a certain extent, we are doing it for them. It's to keep the pride of the program and the passion for the game that's just involved.
At the end of the spring season, the Husky Rugby Club had amassed a 6-2 record, narrowly missing out on a place in the conference championship game.
This year, I'd say we went much farther than I ever imagined we would. We had a fantastic year.
I was very, very happy to see that what we started actually is still going today.
And judging from the evidence, still going very strong indeed, as the Husky Rugby Club begins its second half-century.
And when we return, we'll head to Eastern Washington for a spring break road trip with a mission to change lives. We'll be right back. Welcome back to UW360. Mention spring break, and what usually comes to mind is road trips or plane trips to sunshine, beaches, and parties. But for some UW students, spring break meant a road trip to remote parts of Washington State to work with elementary and middle school students on literacy and science projects.
There are some big plans brewing in the small eastern Washington town of Mattawa.
I would like to go to the university and study medicine to become a doctor.
and I want to be able to change different animals. I want to dance and I want to be on stage so I could, because I want to show people how I do my moves.
Students at Mattawa Elementary School take their writing seriously. And with the help of some University of Washington students, they're working on books about themselves. Written snapshots of an experience they've had or a dream for the future.
Like my grandpa, he was a hunter, so I want to be one too.
These kids just have so many awesome dreams, so the biggest thing is kind of sitting down with them and talking and just asking them what they like to do, you know, what kind of things they enjoy. This year's theme was snapshots of either the past or the future.
For Evelyn Jensen and her team, this is spring break. Instead of partying in Cabo, teams of UW students are working on literacy projects in 12 rural communities all over the state, encouraging kids to be authors. It's been going on for 13 years.
Every year of Alternative Spring Break, we choose kind of an overarching theme for the kids' stories. Most of them have something to do with identity because we love the idea that the kids will be writing about themselves and the place that they live.
Alternative Spring Break is part of the Pipeline Project, a K-12 outreach program connecting UW undergraduates with educational and service opportunities in the community. It draws students from all academic disciplines. Some of them may be interested in teaching careers.
It's a really great opportunity for anyone who thinks they might want to go into teaching. It gives you like a really realistic view of what a teacher has to do and experience working with kids in a classroom that you probably wouldn't get anywhere else. So it's really great.
It's also a chance to see parts of Washington that are very different from Seattle.
It's been really great, really inspiring to learn from them as well and learn from their, their town. Because like I said, I don't know rural Washington at all, and it's been really cool to just see such a diverse culture we have in this state.
And of course, it's always about relating to the kids.
A lot of them are English learning students, and I mean, I was also an English learning student myself growing up. I can relate to a lot of them. I can relate to their struggles, and I mean, a lot of them are shy about speaking English, but I let them know not to be shy.
My dream is to be a cheerleader. I want to be a dancer. The story is when I went to Alaska, when I went skating and bowling.
They are just loving having the University of Washington students in their classrooms, and they're instantly bonded with them. And just the fact that we can have people that have different experiences from maybe different cultures, different communities come into our community gives the kids kind of a taste of what the rest of Washington is like.
Whoa! My dream is going to space. Is that you flying on a rocket?
UW students stay in people's homes for the week, getting to know the community as a whole.
It's been really wonderful to see how the communities have embraced this project. It's been something where really lifelong friendships have been developed between our students and community members.
When spring break ends, stories and pictures from all 12 communities are combined in a book, so students around the state can see each other's work. And the UW students go home with something valuable as well.
It was really just about me giving back to UW and this community that really gave me so much.
This has been a great experience, and hopefully I can use it as I reflect on what I want to do for the rest of my life.
It's been really awesome.
Good job, Amparo. Give me a high five. You're all done. You have a book. So cool.
To read more about the Pipeline Project, you'll find a link on our website. And coming up next, designing mechanical life forms as UW360 continues. Welcome back, everyone. In the Industrial Design program at the UW School of Art, students learn to understand the interactions between people and technology, which leads to some fascinating creations.
New life forms are being created on the University of Washington campus, creatures that can scoot, flap, rotate, and crawl. Their inventors are a collection of young Frankensteins in an intermediate industrial design course working on a project called Kinetic Automata.
The idea is that it's a life form, and it has to have several principles of life, but it's sitting at rest, and then it has to transform in some way, which is either scale, rotate, or position.
The students also have to come up with a goal for their creature, and of course, give it a name.
So this is Jillian. Jillian's a jellyfish. And basically, I'm really fascinated by the sea and how just things in the water kind of move around and flow and just go with how the water moves.
And Jillian's goal?
I think Jillian's goal is the act of surprise. Because you wouldn't expect this to kind of flare out like that, almost like a pufferfish.
Students are required to start with a concept, usually in sketch form, and then take that concept through several stages, eventually producing something that could have a professional application.
The idea with these organisms is that every part of its function, or its body, or its skeleton, or its heart, or muscles, it actually is supposed to have a purpose. So if you see something that looks like a leg, it's supposed to act like a leg.
I was working with creating something that was really abstract, and I wanted to take like a really organic form and reduce it to something very linear. The goal is for him to move, so he moves forward.
A major component of the class is creating a three-dimensional model of their project on a computer.
Industrial design is usually involved with the physical aspects of a product, and model making is a critical part of the process. A lot of times it's three-dimensional, so they'll actually go through phases of building sketch models, where a two-dimensional drawing can only take you so far.
Once they've designed the model, students manufacture some of the pieces in a good old-fashioned workshop, usually out of plastic, foam, or plywood. Back in the studio, they work with cardboard, glue, colored pencils, anything that adds personality to their product. But even though their creatures are made from simple everyday materials, they are all unique.
A big part of design is storytelling. Somebody would professionally, they'd have a background story for the product that they're working on that they would then introduce to upper management to try to sell the idea or sell the product.
So these students are making more than lovable toys. They are learning how industrial design works in the professional world, combining creativity, computer skills, and hands-on craftsmanship to make the products all of us use.
And that's it for this edition of UW360. You can catch this episode again on our website, uwtv.org/UW360, where you'll also find links to more information on everything we've covered today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time with all new stories from the University of Washington.
Wardrobe for Carolyn Douglas is provided by C'est La Vie, located in downtown Edmonds and in Renton at The Landing.